Hello, hello, I believe we are live. It says we're live. We must be live. Right, Anthony, no, I'm not asking Kez if I can come out to play. I see. Right. A little bit different this time. You're going to be seeing me look that way a lot. Aha. Yeah? And that's because I've got the comments on my other computer and I'm broadcasting off my laptop. I'm experimenting. I've got screens dying on both sides. Hello, guys. It is 9 o'clock UK time, Sunday, and that can mean only one thing. It is our time for our weekly terrain question and answers session. It's been a long week, guys. It's half term here in the UK. The kids have been off. It's been a long week, guys. In interesting news, yeah, Corbin is back at school tomorrow. Willow is not back at school tomorrow. So Willow's made it her mission to make sure she gets up. Yeah, to wave him off from her window before she goes back to bed. Genius. Pure genius. Right, I see names. Right, there's going to be a load of names. Let's start doing some shout outs. If I don't shout you out, then I've missed your name. So say hi again. Yeah, I see Unpainted Lead, Jez, Joanne, Austin, Tamsin, Graham, Rudy, Mark, DZ, Bill, Anthony, Rick. Yeah, see what I'm doing here? I'm not scrolling. Yeah, Jedi. I'll let him build up again and we'll do another run. Here you are. All hail the Mel, Insane Commander. Jace Green is in the house. Hello, buddy. Yeah, 28. George Ovlosky, Gordy Grooves, like that. Dave, hello, bud. Fran, the gang's all here. How many does it say? We've got 50 watching already. Sebastian, George. I've had a hard week going to GW and stuff. I bet you have. Unpainted Lead. I went to GW. I decided, yeah, that, right, quite a few days this week, I haven't been in the studio. I've been very much dad, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I've taken the lad out for a day, and we had a day, and we went over to Nottingham, and we did Warhammer World, and we did the exhibition. Yeah, now I don't want to talk too. I've got loads of photos, yeah, and I don't want to talk too much about it, yeah, because I'm saving it for the natter. Pal, first live stream. Welcome aboard, buddy. Ange, Fred, Matthew. Anthony spent the entire week playing Gloom. Gloom? What's Gloom? Oh, Austin, that's not good, dude. Good luck with the job hunting. So yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about it, yeah, because like I say, I'm going to talk about the Natter in a minute, yeah. But basically, we went Warhammer World, yeah. Then we did a visit over to Warlord. I spoke to the Rich C over there, Rich Carlisle, and he was good enough to sort of host me and Corbin and take me and Corbin like behind the scenes and show us like the metal casting, the resin casting, and all that sort of stuff. And let us Corbin's face when we went into one of Warlord's storerooms, the blister room. Yeah, you've never seen a look on his face, and he had some dice. Ah, hello, Peter. Gloom, a very weird but fun cardboard board game. Ah, not interested then. No, what you call it? So we went Warlord as well, and we killed it about an hour and a half at Warlord. Yeah, all I'll say on the exhibition at Warhammer World was part of me, yeah, was in awe, genuine awe, but found myself doing my inner monologue, show dialogue as I was going round, and I was analysing the terrain, yeah, and I'm going through, and I'm going like, oh, we've got a nice woodland scenics, watch cliff, moulded cliff face there, built up with, I'm like, that's woodland scenics moulded, and then it was like, nice bit of cork bark one there, and I'm doing this sort of thing, and I'm like, I'm critiquing. Well, I'm not really critiquing. Because I don't critique, but I'm analysing the guys at Warhammer World's work. Bad Mal. Bad Mal. Right. You should come down to the Legionary show in Exeter, run by a club. It's full of shits and giggles. That's a long drive, dude. I mean, I'd love to go to shows, but the fact is, one, it's time. Two, it's petrol. And then if I do a show, I've also got to do the show video, and that's typically, salutes. It takes me probably about eight to 12 hours to do the salute video. Even a small show, because it's all inserting photos and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and it's quite complicated video editing wise. The shows are, yeah, they're at least 4 hours. So shows are more about what you call it, whether I can afford to logistically to go to a show. You know what I mean? Rather than, because I mean, you're talking the travel, you're talking the time, you're talking the actual, culinary logistics and getting in, and then the video editing, the video show. So I have to pick my shows. Yeah, I do want to speak. Oh, David Moffat's in for one on Patreon. Yeah, this is a fundraising thing as well. When we get to the Q&A section, the idea is that if you really like it, you know what I mean? What you call it? You help me. I'm crap at fundraising. I'm really crap at fundraising. Right, let me check my emails. We have got what you call it? Demonte Ho. Right, what's his proper name? I can't fit that in the text. Thank you, buddy. Hello, here comes a Corbin. Good night. That was rather sedate and disciplined. That's because of Mum. Have you been giving your marching orders? They've been given their marching orders by Mum.
If we messed about, we get told off.
Right, okay. Thank you, Mum.
I will come shortly.
Right, so oh. Scroll. Yeah. Dave M. Let's get Dave M on the screen. And then we will talk more about shows before we talk about the Natter. Yeah. Still need to figure a better way of doing this, but let's get Dave on. Right, now you know the drill. Dave has jumped on for the Patreon thing. Yeah. He's one of these good guys who's gonna help make shows and more videos happen. Yeah, so let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, Dave. It's much appreciated. I had a bit of a kick-in on Patreon this month, to be truthful. Do you remember when we did the updates for doing the live shows? Well, right now we sort of dropped two of the goals. Right now, yeah, we're about $3 off doing live shows again. But hey ho, it is the nature of this game. Yeah. Also, the channel's been a bit quiet, but I think that's because this past month we've been doing the Turf War Z. Yeah, and Zombie Apocalypse Terrain is very specific. So I don't think it has the same pull as when I do Greenfield and the more generic stuff, which has a much larger appeal, especially to the likes of the diorama guys and the railway modelers. So I need to pick that up. That being said, I decided I was going to finish off a couple more zombie video, urban apocalypse videos. Yeah, I was going to do them in the future, but I thought if I do them in the future, something's going to come up and I'm never going to get round to them. So let's just do them now. The foreground build, I'm starting that not this week coming, the week after. So the week after that, you're going to start getting updates on the foreground build. Yeah, so we'll be off zombie apocalypse and onto the other stuff. Now I can see on my screen that there's loads of comments, so I better catch up. We were running around Normandy last week. Nice. Right, I've missed a load. Hey, Tim. Loving the shirt. Thank you, dude. Hope you're doing okay with all the craziness going on over there. Don't worry, surreal. You got to put it in context, mate. Yeah, there you go, Doc. No, you got to put it in context, mate. I mean, I remember the IRA mainland bombings. Yeah, and what we've had over here is nothing. Nothing. Go look up the Manchester bombings and the Birmingham bombings. Lichfield. Did they do? Can't remember. Did they do? Did they do Market Drayton? It's Lichfield Barracks. I can't remember if they did Market Drayton. I mean, trust me, all the craziness over here ain't that crazy. What are you building for foreground? I'm building a map. Jace has been a proper welcoming doorkeeper. He's my doorman, Jace is. He's like my bouncer. He's like, you're on the list, you can come in. He's very polite, like that. Mess him about. You're kicked. Yeah, don't mess about. Don't spam the chat, because I'll tell you what, Jace. I thought, thought I was bad in the terrainiacs. Yeah, nothing on Jace in this. Yeah, you see him come in. I mean, he's got his mouse hovering over the thing. Right now, it's like a sniper. Yeah, each one of your names he's hovering over, just waiting for you to make a slight infraction. Yeah, bang, you're gone. Yeah, remember, he can time you out. Yeah, Jace, in fact, I give you permission for shits and giggles. Yeah, if anyone plays up, yeah, time them out. Any of the regulars start playing up, time them out. It's only crazy if we get an inch of snow. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, terrorist attack on London Bridge. Hey, up here we go again. Warning of snow. Oh shit. Yeah, I've seen more panic. Yeah, when there's a hot day and people start realizing Tesco's are running out of burger buns. Real, I hear you, bud. Yeah, Anthony, true. Tim, challenge accepted. Straight underneath it, Jace has got a knife. Are you making new stuff for the Foreground Fabled Realm games? No, Ewan. I'm making the Fabled Realms. Right, so what do I mean by that? You lot keep taking me off topic, I'm trying to get this all this organised, and you keep taking me off topic. You're awful, you lot are. Yeah? Okay, then I'm going back to talking about shows. Yeah? And then I'm going to talk about NAF today. You're not taking me off topic, you gits. But I'll just finish here. Right, just to let you know what's coming in, sort of like, I suppose, third week of June. So not next week, but the week after, you'll start getting the content. Yeah, because obviously I've got to make it first, or start making it. I'm pitching it at a 4-week project, so we're probably looking at about 6-7 weeks. Yeah, I've got about a 6-7 week deadline, so we're looking at about 6-7 weeks. Yeah, I'm building the Fable Realms, and by that, Foreground have had this map built of their Fabled Realms, or they had sketches of what they wanted, and they've had a professional artist do a map. Yeah, and it's my job to turn that map into a 3D rendition, like a campaign map, done on a 4 foot by. It's just shy of 4 foot by 3 foot. It's about 2 foot, almost 3 foot. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be working on. So you lot have been asking me to do smaller scales. Can't get much more smaller scale than that. You've just got me to pledge. Nice one. Porel, Makus guy. No, you should do a podcast with Jason guests, radio. Calm down. Calm down. Right. Yeah. Pools, come on. Right, let's get him on the screen. See, you guys make this happen. You make the content happen. You make it able to me to go to the shows to cover them for you and to do the tutorials. I love you. And we have another edition by the looks of it. We got a PayPal it. It's unpainted lead. I'm going to call him U-Lead because we all know unpainted lead. There you go, guys. So, 2 more supporters this show. Thank you, guys. Unpainted lead and Poral, I think. Poral. Thank you, guys. Yeah, just update those. Right, so, where was I? Right, shows Expo. Yeah. Now, I was thinking about going to Expo, and a lot of you have encouraged me to go to Expo. Yeah. And what do you call it? I was umming and ahhing. Now I didn't go, and it turns out that it was the right move because I've spoken to a few people who went. It turns out gaming table wise, there was a couple of like demo tables, normal sort of kit stuff, and there was some wargaming kit tables with what would be classed as club terrain on it. But when it came down to feature boards, yeah, the only real feature board there was my Frostgrave board on foreground stand. So, save myself a day there. Don't think I'm going to cover Expo next year unless, yeah, I see major rumblings of significant, significant increase in wargaming terrain. Yeah, and I heard there was a few sellers and that sort of stuff there, but at the end of the day, they're at Salute, and I don't bother to film them at Salute. Yeah, so I don't see the point in going to Expo just to film the traders. Yeah, especially because Expo's really busy and it's a hassle to get around. Yeah, I might go to Expo as a punter. Yeah, and just say, right, I'm going to Expo if you want to meet up, but I don't want to commit to filming because what you do is if you commit to filming, what you have is you film one person and then they expect to be on it, yeah, on the show, and then if you don't get enough content, you go either like sort of got to put out a naff video or let some people down who you filmed and were expecting to appear on the channel. So you have to pick your shows. Yeah, jelly babies. Oh god, so Christmas is worse than these bombings. Yeah, yeah. Shop online. Right, okay. So that's the show sorted, and that's why I do certain shows and which shows I do. Now, always cover Salute, yeah. Always do Derby as well because it's like my local show. I try to do what you call it, Phalanx and St Helens because that's a bit of memorabilia trip, and I try and do Barrage down in Stafford. Yeah. Beyond that, but I want to expand it. Now, on to the next topic before we get to the Q&As. Question, do we still have to prefix with question? Yes, you do, but we're not at the Q&A stage yet. I'm sectioning it. I'm doing it in stages. I'm trying to get organised. And I want to talk about this. Now, on Thursday, I announced we were doing the Natter. Okay? And the Natter, I've always struggled with sort of like always feel like I struggle chatting. There's stuff I want to talk about that isn't enough to make a video. Stuff I'm doing that isn't enough to do a tutorial or places I've gone and that sort of stuff. At the same time, uh, I've been trying to figure out a way of doing like a terrainiacs showcase for a while, and I've tried it before and tried like appeal for people to send stuff in, and it hasn't really worked. And it hasn't been enough for a decent video. Yeah. And I've tried to do news shows with the roundup. And what I thought was, well, you know what? Let's bang them all together and just do them as a weekly show. Because if I'm short on one, I'll have more on the other. Yeah, and I threw out an appeal, and I want to say first off to the terrainiacs, you guys are awesome. Yeah, you jumped on it. I think, about 14 submissions. Yeah, and I think 10 of those dropped. Yeah, before midday the next day, as I asked. So I've got those. So what I'm doing is I'm sitting on them. I'm going to prepare the Natter show next week. Yeah, Tim, you git. Question: why do we need to do this? So I can see your questions clearly. That's why, Tim. Yeah. It's all right. I'm reading comments on Bros. I've got to get over this. I might pull the comments back onto this screen. Yeah, so I can keep an easier track. We'll explore. But anyway, yeah, the Natter is my weekly idea of pulling it all together, but it's a lot more than that. Yeah, it's my chance to experiment with video techniques. Yeah, I don't like experimenting with different things when I'm doing the tutorials. I like figuring out what works and I know works. Yeah, and doing it when it comes to filming because I don't want to risk. having ruined footage because it's a practical process. If one of the scenes is ruined, it screws the entire tutorial up. Okay, so I don't like messing around with pre-production or even post-production stuff. Yeah, or relying on post-production stuff when I'm doing the tutorials. So I really need something that I do regularly that I can mess around with. Yeah, figure out audio things, figure out graphical things and stuff like that. And this is where the natter comes in. And once I've figured those out, I'll be able to transfer those skills and those techniques into my tutorials and make them better. So that's the idea. The natter. It's a forum for Mel to ramble on even more than usual. Jace, put yourself in timeout for 30 seconds. Try videoing in drag. I'm sure it'll be better. Calm down. Tim, you git. I'm not even reading that. I might flip the screen so it's invalid. Alright? Hey, Will, don't worry about being late. We're still just chatting. So, not. Now, there were a few of you who were a little concerned about don't get burnt out, Mel. Don't do too much. Okay? Yeah, I hear you. But from the other side, it's a talkie show. So when it comes to video editing wise, or when it comes to like filming, yeah, there's actually a lot less filming in it than there is a tutorial. Yeah, because when I do my tutorials, I film pretty much the entire process, whether I'm talking or not. Yeah, so when I start video editing, I typically have maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 hours worth of video, and then I cut it down, yeah, to what I think is the essentials and that sort of stuff. Yeah, whereas this, when with it being a talkie, I'm only talking for a little while, okay, relative to what you call the tutorials, and so the work's actually in post production with all the editing, putting in the terrainiacs stuff and doing the news stuff. And by the way, yeah, on the news shout out, didn't get a single one. I'm not complaining. Yeah, just thought that was a giggle. Yeah, I would have thought the news lot and the industry lot would have been right over it. But hey ho, we'll see how it rolls. Yeah, like I say, I'm committed for 2 months for it. Yeah. But with regards to the workload, the real workload is post production. And that's stuff I can do at home. Yeah. So that actually works for me. Yeah. So I know you guys, some of you guys are worried a little bit of me being burnt out on it. Yeah. But I'm not overly concerned. I mean, obviously, it's extra work, so I'm conscious of it. But I think the benefits will pay off. Now, it's not just the show. See, it's the concept of the natter. Now that Mal is back to a regular day time slot, I don't have to rely on notifications. Exactly. And this is what I'm talking about. My God, I could, that what you call it? Jace couldn't have put that. It's almost like I sent that. I didn't send that to Jace, but it's almost like he did what you call it. Yeah. The reason why I'm saying it is because the natter isn't just about the show. It's about the conversation. Now I've nicked that from Philip DeFranco. Yeah, but it's a good way of describing it. Yeah. Or I didn't realise I'd nicked it from Philip DeFranco until I saw the Natter Day video and realised that's what Philip DeFranco does. Yeah. And if you don't watch Philly D, it's worth a watch. I like him. Yeah. But anyway, uh, it's about the conversation, and I'm trying to do something special. Yeah, I'm going to be filming. The cutoff for getting content to me is going to be Wednesdays. Yeah, so I can film it on Thursday, edit it Thursday night, Friday, at the very latest, Saturday morning. Get it rendered, get it on the channel for Sunday morning. On top of that, I'm sort of committing to engaging on social media. Yeah, on Sundays. Now I'm useless at keeping up with my comments and replying to Facebook messages. They build up and then I do a big purge. I'm trying to get better on it. Yeah. But what you call it? Rather than make a commitment saying I'm going to fix it, I'm just going to say right. I'm going to do my level best. on Sundays be around for the Q&As and the conversations when I start things. And you know what I mean, I ask something in a video, I'm going to be around for answering those comments that day and being able to answer those replies as well. Yeah, because I'm going to condense it all into into one day. Yeah, which is Natter Day. Yeah, it's the day after Saturday. I like that. Yeah, but basically, I'll have the show first thing in the morning. Yeah, and I'll put it out nice and early so guys in different time zones can catch it, you know, just before bed and that sort of stuff, or if you depend on where you are. Yeah, then we've got the entire Sunday, yeah, to just chat and you know what I mean, talk about the topics. I'm going to be on social media. We're going to have a hashtag. Come on, guys, for Natter Day. What do you reckon the hashtag should be? Let's have some suggestions while I just finish this off. Yeah, and then in the evening show, the live show, the Sunday nighter, it will be the Natter nighter, the Natter nighter. I like that. Yeah, what do you call it? We'll have the roundup where I can talk about what we've been talking about. I can come back on your feedback and updates, and we can just do the Q&A sessions and that sort of stuff. And then at the end of the live show, we can pretty much say, right, well, there we are. We've rounded up our day, and our Sundays can be our day for as a Terrainiac community. Nattering. Yeah, because I love nattering. You know me. Yeah, so that's the idea. Come on. Whatchamacallit, talk bollocks, natter chatter, natter chatter, natter snacks, talking terrain, team biscuits, natter day. Hashtag Mel just don't shut up. Dude, I'm going to take you off the Watch of the Pledge list. Natter matters. Natter lives matter. Crack on. Oh, hey pals. Rudy and Ewan. Both of them have chipped in. Nice one. Let's get them on the screen. Yes, they are. Ewan and Rudy are my enablers, along with Dave, Poor Al, and Unpainted Lead. I wouldn't get up to this stuff if it wasn't for people like them. So, everyone give them a big shout out. Right, Rudy. Oh, spell it right, dude. Spell it right. And boom, there we go. Hey Mal, sent you a few pictures of no train. I mean on Facebook, down fighter plane. Hey, if you've sent it over, mate, it will be in. And now I'm not replying to the emails because there's been 14 of them, and I don't want to sort of give you my reply. Instead, I'm going through a pledge that pretty much, yeah, if you send me photos. Yeah, and the email address to send the photos to is the same one as the PayPal one that's on the screen right now, the terraintutor@gmail.com. If you send me photos, it's best if when you're taking the photos, if you're using your smartphone, yeah, horizontal, bit like, you know, the screen on YouTube. Yeah, because photos like that, they work great on phones, but they're not very good actually on a YouTube video, guys. Yeah, I'll update that information in the information of Natter. But if you want to send some photos, a bit about it, yeah, then I will showcase it. Melancholy. Kitchen tables matter. Mad Natter. If you think my Land Raider is big, you should see my terrain box. People have been known to join Facebook just so they can be part of the Terrainiacs group. Yeah, I used to delete them as spammers. I used to look at them and watch it like, no friends, just join Facebook. Yeah, spammer. And it's like, no, I've just joined Facebook to be on the Terrainiacs page, mate. Oops. Terrainiacs. Terrain talk. Mel is not interested unless you're horizontal. Calm down, Tim. I think we're going to have to work on the hashtags. We'll get one. Drag Mel, not a chance in hell. How about a segment like the gallery on Vision On? I'm thinking more like, what do you call it? The gallery on, what do you call it? Tony Hart, mate. Who remembers Tony Hart? So glad he didn't turn out to be a paedophile. He wasn't a paedophile, was he? I know the rest were. Pretty much every childhood like celebrity from my age was. Was that Mel's stomach growling or mine? No, that was yours, mate. I had my tea. I had chips, sausage, and eggs just before. Smart art. Tony Hart, that was it. It'd be horrible to think he was doing things to Morph, wouldn't it? Can you imagine the things Morph would have seen? Ah, Jez. Tony Hart, not a nonce. Nice. Do you know what? I'm glad. And looking at the guy, looking back at the ones that have come out as nonces, it's pretty obvious, really, when you're looking at it, innit? You know what I mean? Yeah, but Tony Hart, I always had, when it was all coming out, it was like, don't be Tony Hart. Nah, nah. And I'm glad it wasn't. Blethering with both. I like that. Tony Hart, professional cravat wearer and cannabis legalize? Hey, Bose audio. Tim, I'll get into trouble with that. Morph was used by the cops to show him where the bad man touched you. What was the white one called? And I'm not being racist here if you don't know Tony Hart or anything like that. They were clay figures. One was terracotta and one was white. Yeah? Chaz! That was him. He was a git. Morph was lovely. Yeah? He was just a nice guy, inquisitive, that sort of stuff. Chaz was the little shit. Yeah, if Johnny Ball had, yeah. Yeah, I don't think, looking back at Johnny Ball, he's not one of those that sort of pops up in memory for me as a kid. But looking back, nah. The Boastman cometh. English swear words are awesome. They come in the Daz colours. Ah, of course they are, yeah. Hey man, love your vids. Can I use your rural roads for Flames of War? Yes. Scale them down by an inch, I'd say. With them being rural, because they'll mainly be tracks. They're not going to be dual carriageway or 2 lanes, are they? I heard a rumour that the guy from Art Attack was Banksy. That'd be awesome, actually. Mr. Buchanan. Rent a Ghost, you remember that, Mal? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. We've got it, I think, on DVD. We bought all the old series. We've got Wurzel, Gummidge, the lot. Right, we are getting into, we're getting into Q&A session now, because I've talked about the Natter Day. And like I say, the Natter Day, don't be worried about the extra work, but I do need you guys to do things like, one, badge your favourite terrain makers and tell them, go look at Mel's Natter Day vid and send them stuff if you want their stuff on my channel. I'm not charging for it, okay? I'm not going down the route of sponsorship or prizes or anything like that. Yeah, I just want to be able to show off some terrain from them. I want to give a rounded approach. More importantly, you terrainiacs, I want to see your builds. If it's your first build, I especially want to see your build. If it's a build you've done with your kids, you send that. You send that to me. You hear me? Yeah? I want you to be able to show your kids and show them the video, yeah, of me telling them how awesome that terrain is. So if you've done a build with your kids, my email address is on screen. Send it. Okay? I need horizontal photos, a bit of information about you. Okay? I'm only going to use first names and initials and stuff like that. That sort of stuff. So don't worry about being outed and all that sort of stuff. But a bit about you. Horizontal photos. Yeah. Yeah. Don't send nudes. Okay. Well, that obviously. But for those of you overexcited fans, yeah, I've only ever received nudes once. It was a railway layout. There were lots of detailed up close pictures, then a faraway pic, and it must have been hot in that room. It must have been very hot. Very, very hot. But he's very proud of his terrain and everything else he had on display. So, Tim, Ewan, Westy, who's the rest? Who else? I'm checking. No. My messenger's going off like crazy. I don't know if I want to look at it. Right, guys. Yeah, but if you have done terrain, if you have done it with your kids and that sort of stuff, yeah, the terrain, not the nudes. Yeah, send them to the terraintutor@gmail.com. Yeah. Now, if you are a commissioned studio and you've done some stuff and you're a terrainiac and you've used my tutorial on something, yeah, I'll give you a shout out. But understand, yeah, you will be the last of the list. Yeah, so I'm aiming to do about 10, maybe 15 a show, depending on volume. If I get 10, 15 first builds, kids builds, you're going to have to wait till next show, dude. You know, it's as simple as that. Yeah, if there's space at the end, then I will happily show off, commercial artists. Yeah, for nothing, no charge or anything like that. And I will, give a shout out to your studio. Yeah, but with no offense, because you're not making a living off it, you're the bottom of the pile for the showcase. Because I'm here to encourage. I'm not saying I'm not here to help you, because I'm here to help everyone. Yeah, but I want to showcase kids' work, and I want to showcase, first time, hobby terrainiacs work. You know what I mean? Yeah, hearts and minds, guys. It sounds like this is a military exercise, doesn't it? I'm going to win their hearts and minds with pictures of kids. Nice one, AW. Tim? No. Right, we are 40 minutes into the show. This is an hour and a half show now. As I said, I'm getting regular. We've done the first segment, and in future Watch Sunday Nighters, what we'll be doing is we'll be doing it very much as a the answering the Natter Day topics, catching up on the Natter Day, the social media, and then launching into the Q&A session. Now, I want you to get your terrain questions started because I'm running out of things to talk about. Yeah. Also, the mug is empty. Yeah. Gregory, if you want to send anything, Mal. Appreciate that, Ace. I appreciate that. Right, guys, I'm going to flip the screens. Yeah, I'm going to take a quick, sort of 3-4 minute break just to top up my mug. Yeah, and we will be back with the Q&As. Now, remember, for the question and answer section, yeah, keep it terrain focused if you can. Yeah, I don't mind questions about me and that sort of stuff, the hobby, but, you know my normal stuff. I play bolt action. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in 40k, but we'll talk about that at the end of the show if we run out of terrain questions. Yeah. I mainly do 28mm, but I may be doing other scales very soon. And if you've got a question, prefix it with the word question in capitals so it sticks nice up on my screen. And in the meantime, smoke them if you got them. Oh, these old legs. Oh, and we're back. Give me a second. Change the screen. There we are. Right, have they been naughty, Jace? Tim's been carving, what you call it? Orc terrain? I'm curious. Right, guys, we are back with the question and answer section of the show. See, I told you I was getting organised. Yeah, see how this goes. Right, dead simple. If you've got a terrain question or a question that you want an answer to, this is your opportunity to get the answer live and then drill down that answer to work out, the bits that you don't understand and all that sort of stuff. Basically, your opportunity to get, a little bit of a consultant. Yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean. It's Mel. Yeah. Now, to make it simple for me, prefix your question with the word question in capitals so I can see it clearly. If I don't answer your question, it's because I'm talking and I've probably missed it. Just ask it again. We'll work through. We've got a good 40, 50 minutes to go till the end of the show. So we got plenty of time. Right, let's get kicked in, shall we? Tim, question. Has the question and answer time started yet? Yes. Mel, did you get my email I sent you on Friday? I did. I did get the emails. I haven't replied to any of them. Right, quick check. Yeah, done that one. Done that one. Yeah. Right. Question. How can you make tower cranes 40k? Just use toys or is there something else? It's for orcs. You can have a look at, there's a couple of kits out there. You've got the hexagon kits from Pegasus Games. I think I've got it. Itchy hair there. Do my head in. Ow! Got it. Right, you've got the hexagon kits from Pegasus Games. Mantic do a good selection of kits. Yeah, that you could use for towers and stuff like that. That's the battle zone stuff. After that, you are looking at at toys. Now, what I suggest you go for is look for toy oil rigs. Yeah, because typically they come on big 4 or 5 legs and they have cranes and you can snap the legs off them. You get like 4 towers. Yeah. So there's an awesome there's an awesome crane kit you can get. It's huge. It stands about that. Get it for about tenner. It's a cheap budget toy. You know what I mean? Like one of those. They say remote control, but it's all attached by a cable. Yeah, and it's a standing, construction crane. Yeah, I got one for Corbin, knowing that he'd break it within 5 minutes, so I could have the pieces. Yeah, and I think you get three foot long sections out of the actual tower. Then you've got like the actual supports for the crane are in a triangular formation. Yeah, so they work really well on stuff as well. Has anyone used artist style canvas board as a basing material? Not as a basing material, Jerry. Yeah, I've seen it used a few times with things like acrylic filler on it. So they've used that as the fabric medium. Yeah, because obviously it's quite tough and it lays flat and it's quite resistant to creasing. Yeah, but I haven't seen it as an actual basing material. The texture on it, I could see it being a nice texture for tarmac and stuff like that. If you were to cut bits out of it and lay it down, but you'd have to blend the edges. Question for the set of tiles I want to make for Zombie, how would you store them? Can you do a video on the spaces to allow us? I don't put spaces on. I wrap them ball wrap and stack them standing upwards, Tim. Yeah, that's all you need to do. Literally, I snake the bubble wrap. Yeah, in between the sheets as I lay them down. And what I'll do is I'll put one sheet flat up. I'll put one sheet flat down. So the painted sides are towards each other with a sheet of polystyrene in between, with a sheet of bubble wrap in between. Wrap over, then one on top, face up, and one down below, face down. You can typically get away with 4 boards before the top one starts pressing too much on the bottom one. Question, where can I buy good flames of war terrain that isn't too expensive? Good question. I'm looking into that at the minute. I've got quite an interest in flames of war. We're starting to play tanks. Yeah, and I'm getting a lot of badgering from you lot for 15 mil stuff. So uh, I'm looking into Flames of War at the minute. Yeah, Battlefront won't reply to my emails. Yeah, so can't do any sort of. Yeah, I haven't got the budget to buy retail. You know what I mean? So, question: how good would Artex be for texturing and sealing, and most importantly, protecting extruded polystyrene cliffs? Extruded, yeah, it'll be good, I reckon. Because I typically seal extruded with filler, and I know Artex is better. I haven't actually done it on a cliff, you know what I mean? I've done the test, and I'm just trying to take that information and apply it in my head. So, sorry if the cogs are turning. Yeah, yeah. What you on extruded? It'll be a good covering. My concern would be on expanded. Yeah, the bobbly stuff. I'm not sure if it's thick enough of a coating, yeah, to take the pressure because that's quite weak to pressure. Yeah, but on extruded, yeah, I reckon so, mate. You might want to do two thin coats. Have you ever question? Have you ever considered a strong plaster in latex molds for basing material? Oh, what you mean, like casting bases, or using smashing it up and using it as rocks? Yeah. Uh, I've never thought of casting bases, but I don't do enough models to warrant casting bases. Yeah, I don't believe in casting terrain bases. Uh, I'm concerned with a plaster that, an accidental drop will smash it. Yeah, resin tends to be a lot more tougher. Yeah. With regards to casting rubble and then smashing it up as a basing material, you're probably better pouring it out on a big sheet of like aluminium or something like that and then just shattering it for like tarmac effects and concrete effect bits. Question, what have you damaged whilst making terrain that you haven't told Kez about? Too much to mention. Far too much to mention. Question, I'm going to pour resin to fill up a sea part. Is it better to colour the resin or to paint the underground and keep the resin clear? Do both. Okay. Uh, if you don't do both, it won't look right. Okay. You would have to colour the resin, tint it significantly that it was pretty much opaque, yeah, to get over not painting the bottom. And then it doesn't completely opaque resin doesn't really work for water. You want a bit of that transparency. Yeah, so actually what you want to do is tint it so it's got the blue look or, the aquamarine or whatever you're going for. Yeah, but it's also got the penetration. But for that to work, you need to graduate the what you call it, the sort of coast. A good example of this is go and take a look in the water playlist. Yeah, it's on there. It's listed in the channel homepage, and have a look at the Envirotex resin product overview. Yeah, I do both in that on a pond, and you'll see what I mean. Why you need to do both. Question, how would you suggest making the ruts in a field to simulate where a plane is crashed? Uh, Depends on how deep you want your ruts to be. The issue is, yeah, that it's very much like meteor strikes and anything like that, crash spaceships. You can do the ruts, but if you want them to actually go into the ground, then your ground has to be raised. Okay, now we typically use feature boards for that, where you're working on a polystyrene base. If you're looking at doing scatter terrain, then really you need to build up the edges and give the impression, yeah, that it's carved a bit out. So imagine doing a very, very gentle hill and then carving just your tracks in the top. That way, you know, it looks like a slope. It's still playable and all that sort of stuff. It doesn't look like a massive hill, yeah, but it doesn't look like, you know, just that. With regards to actually doing the ruts, you could work with milli put and lay them down. You could work with filler, probably work with Artex. Yeah, technique wise, I would have a look at the Let's Makes and go and have a look at the farm field one. Yeah, because I cover making ruts and stuff and farm ruts, furrows in that one, mate. Right, quick brew and then we'll crack on. I'm doing good, aren't I? You liking these questions? Remember, like, if these questions are helping you guys, you know, I appreciate your support. Question: why are you so awesome, terrain sensei? It's a mix, to be truthful. I'll probably say 5% genius, 95% nutter. How would you complete Gothic style windows? Complete meaning not broken glass, lead, or craters. Buy them. Get them laser cut. Gothic style windows, don't try and scratch build those, man. Yeah, just get them laser cut. Laser cut two pieces, put some some blister plastic or some acetate, clear acetate in between the two, glue them together, then fix them into your buildings. Question, maybe not terrain exactly, but what is resin exactly? I've never quite understood that term. I don't know. Is resin a term with regards to plastic? You know, because is resin a term with regards to a compound? You know, the physical state of a compound like plastic, solid, water, gas? Or is resin a chemical name for a composite of something that, when activated, changes its state from a liquid to a solid? Anyone? Question, do you think GW will get to a point where prices will need to be capped? They already are. They're capped by market, what you call it, expectations. GW will cap their prices of what they can sell their products for, like every other business. Yeah, and if they can sell a Titan like I saw when I was at GW for £1.50 and I saw one on a table, then they will. That's just business, you know what I mean? Question, can we expect some airbrush brushes tutorials now? How to correct a receding hairline? Rudy. Yeah. Okay, no, you can't expect any airbrushing tutorials. Yeah, because I'm not a competent enough airbrusher beyond a couple of techniques that I use a lot. Yeah, I do not believe I'm not an airbrush tutor. Yeah, there's a few terrain things that I may show you in the future how to do that. I do a lot with an airbrush, and therefore I feel confident showing you. With regards to receding hairlines, you will actually notice. I'll have you know. Yeah, that Mel is looking younger. Kerry dyed my hair. She dyed this as well. Do you remember how grey I was? It's like a mottled brown now. I'm technically I'm growing a beard. I'm quite concerned about growing a beard, to be perfectly honest, because the last time I attempted to grow a beard, yeah, I was 16, and I turned out looking like a ginger Abraham Lincoln. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure on the beard, but I've got to say, I'm looking a little bit more youthful. I'm going to get so much grief for that. Should we go back to the questions? Resin casting is a method of plastic casting where a mold is filled with a liquid synthetic resin, which then hardens. Dude, that doesn't answer it because you've used the question in the answer. You can't say a liquid synthetic resin when you're explaining what a resin is. Yeah? In polymer chemistry and material science, Resin is a solid or highly viscous substance of a plant or synthetic origin that is typically convertible into polymers. Now, polymers. Were you dressed then?
Bed. Now.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah.
Bed.
Dude, I'm live. You got to knock before you come in. Shut the door, please.
Go on, Corbin. You've been told now how many times. Go, please.
Yeah. Now, polymers. It's a bit like PVA. As something happens, they join together and become solid. Okay. But that's synthetic or organic. So does that mean the resins we're using in castings have been synthetic, organic resins? Right. Question. Oh, you. I'm not even reading that one. Question: how would you add moss on swamp trees? That kind of looks like fabric on a willow. You've got a couple of options, and to be truthful, you've got to build it up in stages. The first one is you need to give it a stippling of green. Yeah, and that's the very, when you look at flagstones and you see like the green algae on them, that's the broadest spread, yeah, at the minimum growth. After that, yeah, you can look at sort of applying a mix of green flock and PVA, and that will give you your sort of your stipply, your furry moss. Okay, but going beyond that, yeah, you're sort of looking at very short fibre, static grass, no more than 2 mil. One is a little bit short, 2 mil is probably a bit better. Yeah, but that's how I would build moss up. I've got a tutorial coming on it soon in the Burma build. That's how I know about it because I've been messing with it. Question: sometime in the future, will you be doing some 40k Grimdark? Yeah. All right. Well, we'll take a quick break. Listen, don't ask me a question for a couple of minutes. Yeah. Right. 40k. I'm interested. Yeah, I am interested. I saw it. I liked it. Yeah. I don't know how it's going to play out or anything like that. I won't be doing 40k videos game wise, but I don't have a 40k table. I've been badgered a lot for apocalypse terrain. Yeah, there's a bit of me that's sort of like, is it worth doing something like a Help for Heroes project on it? Like we did with the Mantic stuff when we built that set, and raffle it off at the end, do a big apocalypse city. Yeah. So 40k is floating around a lot. So for those of you who are interested in the grim dark, future, yeah, I'm going down that route myself. I'll talk about it on the Saturday Natter Yeah, on the Sunday Natter On the Natter I need to get the day right first, don't I? Yeah, I'll talk about it on the Natter But yeah, I need to get this foreground build done. So that's our job for the rest of June and July. Okay. Typically, after I've done a big commission, I'll take a week or two sort of off before I tackle anything next major big. But what's the best way of reaching out to GW? What do you reckon? Thank you, Jace. I wonder if I could get some kits and make something really big. That's worth thinking about. All right, start your questions back off again. Come on, we've got 25 minutes. Yeah, that's going to get screen capped, isn't it? Here we go. Will it be on the terrainiacs by the time I'm finished? Don't pull those faces on the live stream post. To reach GW, pray to the God Emperor and hope. James, that's beautiful. Time Factory. No, artistic license. Just call GW up. It's not as easy as that, dude. Mel's, what your opinion on flock made out of sawdust? Works well. Works well. As long as you get your consistencies right. To be truthful, you should only really be thinking about going down the route of flock for sawdust for sort of unique like flock coverings for stuff that commercially it's going to be too expensive to buy. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people turn around and say, "Well, why don't you make your own flock?" Yeah, and for me, yeah, okay. If I was an eBay builder, yeah, or I was knocking out terrain sets here, left, right, and centre, I would, because it would reduce my materials costs drastically. But I always sort of remind people, I probably use less than £3 worth of flock on the D-Day board. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, flock isn't expensive, and once you've invested in your main varieties, yeah, which I have, I use the Jarvis what you call it premium system, which is only 3 colours. Yeah, and I use that to do what I want it to do. Yeah, uh, in that situation, it's it's easier for me to go for a commercial one that I can get readily, I can buy locally, it's dirt cheap. It's standardized. It's damn good. Its consistency will always be the same. I can show it off to you guys, and you can go get exactly the same product as I'm talking about, rather than everyone going, my builds never look as good as Mel's because what you call it, I haven't got any of his flock. You know what I mean? That sort of situation. Because of all those sort of things and the actual amount I use, I stick with commercial stuff. When will the Burma build be back? I love those vids. They should be back, what you call, the next couple of weeks. I'm just finishing off some pieces and one of the videos at the moment. Yeah, it's one of the things I've been doing, this month whilst pottering with other stuff. Question, question, question. Rudy, yes, I can. I will too. They have given all the books out to the channel that review them, so we might have to deal with the devil. Drasmo, hello, bud. Yeah, if you were making terrain boards for a smaller game like Bushido 2x2 boards, would you be inclined to make the board more or less detailed? Depends on the game and what the game requires from the terrain. Yeah, with regards to physical amount of terrain on the board. Okay. If I was making a 2x2 board, I would up the quality of the build. Yeah. Because the one thing about a 2x2 board is it draws people in like a board game. So people are going to be looking at your table from much closer up. Yeah. What happens is when you get 2x2 boards, yeah, people sit at a table like this over them. Yeah, because they can. Yeah. The moment you go up to 4, because they're expected to reach further and move around to get to other edges, yeah, they start standing up and the distance they're viewing the terrain from becomes further away. And so you can get away with less detailed terrain. Okay. And also it changes the painting style. You have to do a lot more blending, yeah, with the 2x2 setup. Yeah, whereas with a 4x4, you go for uh, the tabletop techniques, which are like the hard edge highlighting and the high contrast work, because that will, yeah, because the blending stuff disappears when you're standing away from it, so you need harsh contrast to bring out the detail. So yeah, I would go. Uh, Detailing with regards to the amount of terrain on the board is down to what the game system requires of the board to make a good game. Yeah, with regards to the quality and the amount of effort put into the terrain on the board, it needs to. The smaller the board, yeah, the higher the standard. Just think of it going a bit like, imagine trying to do, a 12x6, yeah, and then imagine trying to do a diorama. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's scale as it goes down, quality goes up. Questions? Do you have any plans for a Blood Bowl board? I do. I've been potting around and measuring all sorts of stuff. I've been playing and learning the rules with Kez. Yeah. Now the board isn't actually for me and Kez; it's for Jace. Yeah, but I have it. It's on the job list. Yeah. So that is on the list. Question. What are your thoughts on using 148 scale kits for terrain for bolt action? Well, bolt action's true scale, so I think what you call it 28 mil, it's 156. So 148 is a bit of a jump. Yeah, now you can get away with certain buildings, walls and stuff like that because they will appear to be just slightly bigger. Yeah, the issue with scaling is doors and windows. When the human models stand next to them, if the doors look too overgrown, it throws the whole building out. I was doing I've recently done a video on scales, but it turned out a bit crap. It was a talkie, and I think I could do it better. So I'll re-record it at some point and get that up. It's recorded and everything. I think it's about what you call it, about 40, 50 minutes long, and I go through what you call it, talking about the different scales, the railway scales, what scales you should be looking at. But I wasn't completely happy with it, so I wasn't sure if I should put it out. Right, quick check the phone. Oh, we got a PayPal. Kathy's, Kathy S. Oh, thank you, darling. The girls next in studio live. Testing this week. Next week, full live builds. Still got to decide the day. Thinking Tuesday at the minute, but may have to move it around. And when I say full live builds, I'll have the foreground table on the on the workbench. The map table, the cameras. I've figured all the camera stuff out. I've rearranged the studio with Jace's help. That's all done. I've mounted my camera points. Yeah, and so we've everything set up for like a 6-hour live session of me building and chatting and taking you along on it. And that will become, well, at the minute, we've got to hit the patron level. But I think we've hit the patron level, the goal tonight, so that'll be every other week. But I'm committing to it every week. Okay? Yeah, for the foreground build, Kathy. So I will see you later this week coming up, and then it kicks in big time next week, and we'll roll well into the close to the end of July, knowing how I go over. Yeah, so let's get Kathy on the screen. The girls are leading, guys, if you know what I mean. Showing you all up. Right. And then we'll get to the last section of questions. Now, remember, guys, this is your last chance to get your questions answered. Your own personal terrain consult. Kathy S on the screen. Thank you. And everyone give Kathy a massive shout out. Thank you, Kathy. Right, so let's have a look at the comments. Thanks, fiance. I have a huge time zone problem, so need to plan for the live shows. I'll make sure that you know what's going on and when it's going on. This is a big thing I've been pushing for regularly. You'll notice that I'm starting to do videos every Tuesday, every Thursday at 4 o'clock. You'll notice I'm starting to do the live shows, and I'm planning that today. Yeah, I'm trying to get the regularity of this all down. Yeah, so you guys know when I'm going to be live. You guys know when videos are coming. Right, very quickly check emails. I just need to check for patron. Yeah, I just want to make sure I haven't missed anyone. No, but I have no idea how to pronounce that name. Appam K? But Appam K has been cracking. He's done a PayPal as well, so let's get him on the screen. Come on, guys. Appam? You're going to have to help me with this one, guys. I'm really struggling with that. I hope I'm not butchering your name, dude. I'm really sorry if I am. Yeah, I'm doing my best. But I reckon it. Appam K. Refresh. Oh, sorry. No, I need to do his name right. Not two capital A's, is it? Bosicle. There we go. Appam? Thank you, buddy, either way, mate. It is appreciated. Right. Question. Continue from Gothic Windows. Where would you go to find the laser cut windows? You can probably get them from eBay, to be perfectly honest. If not, yeah, Go bully the guys at Dark Ops. They'll do it. Tell Steve at Dark Ops. Mel says he thinks you should sell Gothic windows in pieces that you can put together as a kit. And then send Mel some so he can show them off. Yeah, if that comes with an order of I'd like some Gothic windows, I reckon Steve will probably go for it. Right, okay. This is an interesting question, actually. I've been sent a question. Yeah, and I don't know how to answer it. And it's actually from one of the guys. It's one of the crafters. The what you call it? The studios I am at. He's messaged me on Facebook. Yeah, and he's after where in the UK would you get God both this stuff or something similar? Polyshades, min wax polyshades for staining wood. Let's see if we can help him. Terrainiacs assemble! I'm lagging more than a well-insulated water tank. Is there any product that you can seal and give the same texture as filler but in a spray? Ricky, yes there is. You want to look at textured spray paint. They do it in various different grades. Yeah, go to your local DIY place, go to the painting section, and typically they have them in there. They have them at B&Q in the UK, and then underneath they have like little, they have the colour charts. Well, they have the colour and the texture of it. Typically with the spray paints, what you also find is the caps of the paint, yeah, of the tins are done in that texture, so you can see the colour and the texture you get out of the can. The one issue with spray with filler, and I need to make you aware of, is remember the propellant in spray cans, yeah, can dissolve polystyrene. Okay, so if you're thinking of I'll knock some polystyrene hills up and give them a quick spray with textured spray paint, be aware. If you're going to do that, you're going to have to texture from quite a far distance away. You'll get away with it a bit better on extruded polystyrene, which is the harder stuff. If it's expanded, expect alien terrain. Yeah, thanks for your support then, Dudette. Who's that? It's me. Anita. Oh, it's Anita. Oh! Apple's, I've got to correct that. Let's get Anita on. Got to correct that. Anyway, all the struggling I've had over wondering whether what I'm pronouncing your name and I didn't want to offend you. And it's Anita. Derp. There we go. Question, can I mix large foam and real rocks or should I stick with one type? Mix it, man. Go and have a look at my D-Day board. I was pulling hardcore out the drive, yeah, for my D-Day board. I mean, big rocks like that. Yeah, of course you can. Just make sure you wash them, okay? And if they come out of the garden, they need baking in the oven, 200 degrees, okay? 30 minutes. 200 degrees Celsius. Odin's saying you can just PVA coat the hill first. Yeah, that would work. No Kmart in Stoke, or don't know if there's one in the UK, but there's definitely one. How to make seawater? Oh God, man! Mod Podge, acrylic gels, resins. Go have a look at the water playlist then. Yeah, lots of videos in there. Have a look, drill it down. If you don't understand anything, next Sunday we'll be back with a show. Come back and ask a bit more of a specific question, but that's too broad for this sort of show, dude. That's a series of videos in itself. Question, are you going to do some videos on lighting kits? Probably in the future I will have to. I tend to avoid lights and that sort of stuff on terrain. It's a personal thing. Yeah. It makes it feel too toy for me. Yeah, personally speaking. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that's just a personal preference. But we will at some point. Sven, he's only 14, so he's not really into it yet. Which case, mate, best recommendation, go and have a look at the water playlist. And have a look what products you reckon will work best for you. Yeah, but there are easy techniques to do it, so don't worry about it. It is doable, mate. Did I get a chance to see the new update on the island? I did see it, mate. It's looking rather good, and I'm saving it for the natter next week. Yeah, just to be clear, yeah, it's coming up in the comments. You need to bake your rocks, and anything you gather from nature, you need to sterilize because there's living organisms on them, even if you can't see them. And when you mix that with like water, such as watered down PVA and paint, and you mix it with, a bit of warm, like a warm room, yeah, things start to grow. You don't want, unless you're going for like living Nurgle terrain, yeah, you don't want that. Hello from Nabia. Hello, bud. Any good suggestions for tombstones for some graveyard terrain? Foreground, mate. Foreground do laser cut tombstones. Yeah, with what you call it, with all the details in them, and they're quite ornate and they're quite nice. You can buy them in little packs of I think 12 tombstones in a pack or 24 for a couple of quid. That's my best recommendation. Beyond that, it depends on what scale. I'm assuming 28 mil, so I'd probably say you're gonna have to start looking at carving them out, or what you call it, out of EPVC probably. Balsa wood is probably not gonna work. Foam board is probably gonna be too thick. So actually, yeah, laser cut 3 mil, what you call it, MDF is the way to go for tombstones. When it comes to the little details with terrain, there's a big thing that everyone feels like they've got to scratch build something. Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, people won't know with the little stuff and the detailed stuff, the amount of time it takes. Quite often, I often say, well, you know, you've either got 6, 7 hours making those, or 3 quid to buy them, and then a couple of hours to convert them, tart them up, repaint them. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's better to go commercial and convert than to scratch. Yes, and if, like Jason's saying, if you do like these questions and this is helping you, yeah, it's appreciated, guys. You know what I mean? Depending on the scale, you need tombstones using popsicle sticks or coffee stirrers. That's an idea. Stepping up to 28 mil, jumping on piston privateers, what you call it, suggestion. Have a look for what you call it, because from my days as a combat medic, tongue depressors, they're much fatter. You can buy packs of them on eBay. They could work. They could work well. Have a look possibly, yeah, for pediatric tongue depressors. Pediatric disposable tongue depressors. Pediatric disposable wooden tongue depressors. Because they're going to be smaller than the adult ones, but they're going to be larger than lollipop sticks. And I reckon that should give you just, what is it, about 15 mil for what you call it, for typical tombstones at 28 mil. Right, planning any modern enemy stuff in the future, in the near future, Mel? Odin, sorry, no, mate. Yeah, looking this month and next month. I've got some Let's Makes coming, finished off the what you call it, some more zombie apoc stuff, and we've got the big foreground build. After that, we're either going to be looking at 15 mil or we're going to be looking at 40k. I'm not sure which at the minute. Maybe after that we'll get into more than 9, but there's other projects I need to cover first. Mel, do you have a swag for your page, like shirts and stuff available for sale? Oh, God, he's mentioned t-shirts. Let me get myself back. He's now got the feeling I've started something here. Yeah. Right. What Renedra has gravestones. I imagine they'd be plastic then. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, Patrick. Yeah. Okay. I've been looking at it. I've been thinking about t-shirts. My biggest thing about t-shirts, and we've talked about this in the past, is the idea that, you know, if I use a commercial service, what you guys pay for a t-shirt and the amount of money that actually comes to me just isn't fair. Now, I've looked at loads of other different options, and there is no other better solution that doesn't involve me doing lots of running around or asking people to do running around and relying on the other people. And I don't want to do that. Yeah. So I'm thinking of biting the bullet. Now, I'm thinking Cafe Press. Yeah. Simply because I can upload logos and you can stick them on wherever you want. Yeah. And I'm just going to put it out there that on the basis that I'm not really expecting that many people to buy it to support me. But if you want a terrainiacs t-shirt and you like, a logo I've done, whack it. You can get one, and I get a bit off it. But more importantly, yeah, I've got it for you, and it is another little revenue stream. Yeah, like I say, end of March, you know, I got laid off. The terrain tutor is pretty much my full-time gig now. Yeah, so I've got to make it happen, and that means looking into other lines. And the more lines that I can do that keep me independent, because I don't want to go for sponsorship with with a company. You know what I mean? So the more things I can do to keep me independent and working for the community, the more honest I can be, the more projects I want to do and I know you want me to do, I can do. You know what I mean? Yeah. Chase, I keep pushing him for t-shirts. So yeah, there is plans for merchandise to come, swag. Yeah, it will be either Cafe Press or it will be, is it t-shirt? Because they do lots of different products. But yeah, we'll cover it. Right. Andy Jones, my question isn't coming up. Ask it again. I'll give you one last chance. Yeah, cats say, what you can paste train to. You can make your own with my stuff. I've got no problem with that. You want to nick my logo, stick it on a t-shirt, do it. If you feel morally wrong, yeah, just send me a Patreon or a PayPal, a couple of quid, and say I made my own t-shirt, Mel. Question: do you go to any shows or events? We covered this earlier in the show, but yes, I do. Mainly, we've got Barrage in Stafford coming up. We have Derby Worlds in October. There is Salute. I would love to go abroad and that sort of stuff and do some of the other shows, but I struggle financially and logistically getting to the UK shows. So let's not even bother, eh? Right, unless Andy comes up with his question, yeah, I'm going to call the question and answer segment of today's Natter closed. Andy, just wondering if you could recommend anything to think out card prior to painting to prevent it curing curling, fella. Right, you're better off priming it, okay, than painting it. If you paint it, then you're putting water into it, and that's what causes it to curl. If you spray it with a primer, the solvents evaporate too quick, and so it stiffens. So prime it with a spray paint, rather any spray paint, because you can paint over it once it's been primed. Yeah, but don't paint it with something made. Question: have you been invited to Beers of War to see Luke's terrain? No, I haven't. But I mean, I'm mates with Luck. I'm sure if he wanted me to see his terrain, he'd call me round to see it. I chat to him quite a lot. Question: what happened to the patron discounts? The logistics show of doing the of doing the showcase, it just didn't work. That's why I'm trying to pull it into Natter Day. Now, I will be honest with you. Yeah, if Natter Day takes off after the 2 months, and I've got a lot of I mean, I've had no interest from the industry so far, but if it's getting good views and it's getting good engagement, yeah, and the industry are interested in advertising, that's when I'll turn around and say, right, if you want to be on the show, you've got to give my subscribers something and my patrons something, which means you can do a discount for my patrons and you do a giveaway for my subscribers. The reason why it's in that order is, you can't do raffles for patrons on Patreon. It's against the terms and conditions because of gambling laws in the US. You can't pay to be in a club to be part of a raffle without complicating laws. Yeah, so yeah, discounts everyone on Patreon can get. Yeah, for everyone on YouTube. Yeah, I can do giveaways because I can run a free raffle because no one's paying to watch the YouTube video. Yeah, so that's where the discounts have gone. And like I say, I do hope to get them back because it's a nice reward for my patrons. But I don't. I personally, a lot of the companies said they liked it. A lot of you guys said you liked it, but I personally didn't like the video I put out and the direction it was going when we were doing the terrain roundup. That's why I'm pulling it into the Nat Today show. Question: your army on parade in October? What? Peter, ask that again. Come to Navia. For 20 quid, you could have a 4-week holiday with our exchange rate. Dude, I think that would be the only abroad holiday I get. Piston Privateer, thank you for your support with everything. That's a shout out to everyone. Nice one, Piston. Well, this is the terrainiacs community, isn't it? You know what I mean? I will have to. Peter, are you guys starting to do your own designs and sending them to me? Yeah, Jace has posted the links to the terrainiacs in the comments. It is in the description down below. I will also give a shout out to my personal Facebook page or the Terrain Shooter Facebook page. If you want to know what's going on with live shows and that sort of stuff, that's where I'm posting notifications and links and that sort of stuff. That's down below as well. So if you want to know when I'm going live and that sort of stuff, I highly recommend, if you're on Facebook, follow it and then do it as see it first. Yeah, under the following tab. Armies on Parade is a contest showing any EW army on a terrain board. Patrick's going to do a selfie with his t-shirt when it's ready. You do that, dude. Right, Armies on Parade. Well, with this sort of actually rounds up quite nicely. Now, we have reached the end of the show, but we can spare a minute or two, can't we, for 40k. 8th edition. The internet has gone crazy. Not with the craze of setting fires, armies on fire. Unless you're doing fake fires like Andy 2D6 and is burning a cardboard box. Dude. All that video needed was a drama llama, man. Yeah, but no, the drama has nowhere been has been near as bad as what as AOS. I went to Warhammer World and that did, you know what I mean, pique my interest in. I saw Corb's eyes light up at the 40k stuff. Now, Corb likes bot action, he likes tanks, but big stompy killer, you know what I mean? Titans and monsters and 40k. His eyes. So it was like, I am thinking of getting back into it. Now I have got the Corbanian first from the Corbanian Prime, so I don't need an army because I've already got one. Yeah. John Reed, no worries, bud. I do need terrain, but we talked about that earlier. So October, maybe I do armies on parade. That'd be an interesting one for my local GW, wouldn't it? Shall I do it? Any locals at Stoke GW? Bring your best, guys. Bring your best. Question, can we have another 10 minutes of Q&A? You've already started it, haven't you? All the leaks are on purpose. Advanced secret publicity is what it's called in the trade, folks. Kept that commander and exploded sandwich box away from me. Drazimo, you remember the Corbanian first, man. They were brutal. I used to game with Draz at Shrewsbury. He's a good guy. Yeah, I'm liking the way it's looking, to be truthful. My biggest concern with GW, not GW, with 40k was a bit before what I had my major breakdown when, at the recession, all that sort of stuff. I dropped off it because I was going through a lot of personal problems and life problems myself. I got young kids. We've got a lot of stuff going on. 40k also escalated drastically in that period, and it became a bit of an arms race. And I couldn't keep up with learning the rules, and I couldn't keep up financially, with the arms race. So that was the point where I stepped back from it. My hope is that it's a much simplified, cleaner edition. Yeah, without all the cross-referencing and needing the rule book and so many. That's my hope. Yeah. And if that pays out, well, I love the 40k IP. I really love it. Yeah, so if it is what I hope it is, even if it isn't perfect, you know what I mean? It'll still be better than what it was. Yeah. I'll just say, look, I've got big hopes for it. Because 40k, yeah, it's been a big part of my gaming life, and I've got a lot of good memories. And I love the IP behind 40k. So we'll have to see, guys. Yeah, people are generally agreeing with me. Bit complex. Open, it's simplified. Oh, reminds me back in the day of the blog mail and the original terrain videos of you cutting styrene in your slippers by the radiator. Jace, do me a favour. Yeah, open YouTube. Search for Cole Corbane. Yeah, I'll type it in the comments. Search for Cole Corbane. Yeah. Have a look for the trench video on the Cole Corbane channel and post the URL in the comments for me, mate. And then check what date I did that. So I'm watching the comments now. This will be our last thing before we wrap it up. While Jace does that, I'll do a quick check. Make sure we haven't missed anyone. You know what I mean? No, we are all good. We're all caught up. Justin sent me something. Oh, very nice. Patrick swapped 40k for Warpath. I swapped it for Bolt Action, mate. I saw Warpath. I've never played it. Yeah. Wow, 8 years ago. So they are. You know all you buggers who've been asking me to do trenches? I've already done them. They're on my channel, Cole Corbane, 8 years ago. Did you think this was my first time on YouTube? You wait till you figure out I've got a whole blog out there with 5 years of regular twice a week posts. And there's terrain tutorials and all sorts, sculpting tutorials and all sorts on that sort of stuff. What's the best way of messaging you for a commission? Email address, mate, on screen. Although I will have to say I am very picky. Although I do need the commissions, with going terrain shooter full time, I'm only picking commissions that suit what I want to do with the channel. Okay? So I can't promise, if you want a commission just because, you can pay for it, it's going to happen. It has to suit the channel. Are you dressed? You covered up? What's this? I can't sleep. I'm ill. Sure, speak to me. Jason Green has popped it up there. 8 years ago, mate. And remember, I did that video sort of the tail end of my 5 years of blogging, Imperial Guard blogging. Good old Corbania Prime, the Imperial Guard blog hub. Do I get a kiss? You covered? No worries, Piston. Wow. Talk about a blast from the past, eh? Right. I think, this is the perfect place to wind up. So, what you call it? You guys can shoot off and and go watch a much younger Mel, showing you how to build terrain. I don't think I even said in those videos. I'll be gutted to find out I was a better terrain builder back then than I am now. Yeah. So those are some sweet trenches. They certainly are, dude. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna call it now. We've had a good show, haven't we? Right, guys. Let me shut that door. Oh. Yeah. Right, guys. Just to wrap it up. Yeah. First off, thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining in with the chat. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the show, the natter bit. I hope you've enjoyed the banter, and I hope the Q&A has been helpful beyond answering the questions you've asked, but helpful in general. Yeah, and I'm trying to make these shows more useful. You know what I mean? Not trying to be more entertaining, but I became very conscious that my Sunday shows were very much sit down and just talk about whatever comes up. And I'm just trying to, a bit more useful, a bit more entertaining, a bit more structured. Yeah. Next Sunday kicks off Natter Day. Send your terrain. If you've made terrain, take your photos, do them horizontally because it fits in with the YouTube screen better than, the camera phone sort of photos. Yeah. Send them in with a bit of information. Yeah. To the terrain tutor. It's on the screen right there. Yeah, and I'll include them in the showcase. And if you don't make next week's showcase, which I can promise you, you probably won't, because the amount of submissions, I've pretty much filled that already. You will be in the one after. Hello, dog. Shut the door behind yours, eh? Yeah. In the meantime, guys, you lot are also already saying goodnight, so I'm going to say goodnight. Coming up, we've got a couple more videos, sort of zombie apocalypse-y. Yeah, you'll like them. Yeah. And then we are rolling in the next week or so into the foreground. Yeah, into the big foreground build. So we've got another big build to do, which should be fun. And we'll be doing it live. Yeah, so, guys, thanks. It's been cracking. Enjoy the rest of the night day. Oh, yes? Terra. I need to get a bit better at that, because I should have got ready to actually end it before I said Terra. Which completely spoils it. Yeah, I'm trying to get a bit more better, a bit more professional, a bit more scheduled. Can't even say goodbye properly. Laters, folks.